Hi Neeraj, Justin here. Neeraj, at what point did you think that perhaps Shefali Shah could be approached to play this role, or was it from day one, or you realized after scripting?
No, the script was written beforehand, and I did want somebody who is, someone who will probably not give away that in the end this is going to happen. But somewhere I felt that a lot of my sisters, a lot of my friends and all, they really look up to Shefali, and they've had this thing since the time of Satya, I think, because they really look up to her as this really strong woman, and they say that she's so nice. Why don't you work with her? Why don't you work with her? Then I thought that if she is commanding that kind of power to influence a certain large population and a lot of women to come to understand what we're trying to say through this film, if it gives that championing through her persona, through her personality, so I thought why not? And she's a phenomenal actress. So I think that was like I couldn't have asked for a better thing.
Also, Neeraj, I think it was last year when you had said that you are under tremendous pressure to make your next feature film. In the past 1 year, you've made several shots, you've directed advertisements. When do we see that happening? Is there still pressure to make the next big one?
See, the pressure is always there, and I'm thankfully I'm making these shots and advertisements to kind of get away. But I want to constantly make something. So I feel like this is almost like a second film for me because, yeah, I mean it's everything there. It's just the duration is like 13, 14 minutes. But yeah, I've tried to say a lot many things through this film that I wanted to say in my feature films as well.
Also, Shivali ma'am, there's a wonderful scene in the shot where I think the women are discussing how after marriage or after giving birth you have to quit your job and things like that. Something like that we also see here happening in the industry when a particular actor gets married, the roles start drying up. Do you think it's really sad that something like this happens?
It's not just after they get married, it's after a certain age that suddenly women, they don't know what to do with actresses. So either you're a 18, 20, 22-year-old heroine of a film, or you're cut to directly the mother of a 30-year-old. They don't know what to do with actors in between, which is really sad. So I don't think it has to do with marriage or role playing as such, but I just think it's a much bigger and wider discrepancy, which is really sad, disappointing actually.
But then are there better roles written for women today as compared
There
to
are
perhaps,
fantastic roles. There are some fantastic roles. And I have to say, I have to admit that yes, it is changing. There are roles for Vidya Balan, or there is, Lipstick Under My Burqa, or there is Pink. So there are these films which are women-oriented films. And when you see Lipstick Under My Burqa, or you see, yeah, they're all, they're not exactly women in their 20s, but they're
women are actually experimenting a lot more than the male stars these days. You can clearly see the difference between what all the top three stars, the top three female stars, are doing such different kind of roles. But the male stars always have to cater to that one massy tag of being this superstar, So that's this difference I've seen in so far in all these. So yes, it's a question to her, but I just wanted to.
Hi, Shefali, this is Priyanka. We have normalized misogyny and patriarchy so much that we don't realize that we are part of it as women, as men. At what point in your life did you realize that these are the things we need to get away with? We need to get done with. Personally,
I've seen my mother do this all the time. And I think what happens is because you've seen it, it's imbibed in you. And it comes naturally to you to serve before you sit to eat. I realized that this needed to change. If I had daughters, I would have raised them differently. But I have two sons. And I know that this change can come from the way you raise your children. So they don't get treated in any special way because they're boys. They have to pick up the plate. They just have to do it. And I really genuinely feel that the way we raise our sons or the way we raise our children is going to impact the society that's going to be formed. Because we are still influenced by the past generation. But our children are, it's strange because our generation is somebody who's still responsible for our parents as well as our kids. Our kids are going to move on and just do their own thing. But if they're raised right, then I think there is a big hope of change.
Also, Neeraj, wanted to ask you, spoke about democratic freedom of, in creativity. What do you have to say about, the controversy surrounding Padmavati, or in Iffy, how two films were taken away from the festival by the government, and the protest and the death threats to a leading actor or director. I mean, where does it leave artists to, make films and cinema?
Well, I know this is about Jews, but kind of digressing. But I still want to make my point about. I actually was genuinely appalled. I was ashamed myself as a citizen, because to see that a man of fringe from, yeah, we call it fringe, but it's the new mainstream. I mean, this goon can come on national television and announce that he's going to put up 5 crores for her Deepika's head or her nose, and then it is up to 10 crores to burn her alive.
And that's by a
On
BJP
national
leader
television. Yes,
in
on-
Haryana.
on national television, and the television channel is allowing that, and we are seeing it, and nothing has happened about them. That is a crying shame about the status that we are in. So I think I really feel that this is a time where we all are being somewhere feeling the pressure of it. I mean, the sexy Durga and nude not being allowed in Iffy. I mean, these are the times that we all want to question, and we want to bring in some kind of thing. But something that deeply hurt me was that the biggest star, the biggest female star in our country she's threatened like this on national television, and there are no charges, there are no arrests being done so far, and it is done in fact to save the honor of a fictitious woman. How ironic is this? How ironic these times are? I mean, it is really shocking to say this.
Shefali, your comments on the same?
It's shameful. I mean, it's really shameful that, and exactly like Neeraj said, I mean, you go on to national television and they allow you to go on to national television and say something like this. It's appalling. And it again boils down to the same thing, because, when we talk about feminism, that term has been used very wrongly of late. But here we're talking about equalism. It's just about being equal, whether it's caste, creed, gender, sex, color, whatever it is. And what about the democracy? I mean, there is a certain creative liberty a director or an actor is allowed to take, but obviously that doesn't seem to be visible anymore. It's really, really shameful.
Actually, even the film somewhere also kind of hinted at the intersectionality that she's talking about. If you see, there's the scene where the house help, she's offered tea, and the guest in the house, in fact, if you see, her character is actually not, somewhere there are flaws in her character also, because if you see, she is used to giving her house help, tea in a normal cup. Okay, but when the guests arrive, and the guests say that, how can you serve chai in that cup to her? Because for house helps and stuff, they have a separate cup. So she hands over a very dirty cup to her, and she agrees to it. She doesn't fight back, and that is what I think gives her a trigger to, because she realizes that she's been complicit into this, and that's the whole thought, because like she said, feminism is not just there's this not gendered feminism is not the only thing. There are many layers to it. The intersectionality actually cuts across caste, creed, class, religion, all of these. I mean, that many people actually have shown. Some of them interpreted as class, some of them interpreted as caste. But to each his own, and the difference is there. I mean, women are themselves one of the biggest perpetrators of patriarchy. If women don't unite, I don't think anything is going to happen.
सके कि हस्बैंड वाइफ सभी साथ में बैठ के जूस का इंजॉय कर सके, मतलब जिस तरह से आपने फिल्म में दिखाया।
नहीं, देखिए, ये बात किस चीज़ की हो रही है कि पुरुष प्रधानता की हो रही है। जैसे हमारे जैसे हम बड़े हुए हैं, तो वैसा एक दायरा बना दिया है कि ये कमरा, यहाँ मर्द बैठेंगे, यहाँ ये लोग पियेंगे, ये लोग जो भी बात कर रहे हैं बड़ी बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, ठीक है। और बचपन से हमें बताया गया कि देखो अंकल लोग बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, पापा लोग बात कर रहे हैं, वहाँ मत जाओ, चाहे वो दुनिया की सबसे फालतू जो मेल इंटाइटलमेंट बोलते हैं, जो हम सब मर्दों को है, और हमें उस चीज़ का एक एहसास होना चाहिए कि नहीं, हम लोग हैं, हमारे पास वो प्रिविलेज है, और उस प्रिविलेज को हम मतलब एक जुडिशियसली यूज़ करना चाहिए कि नहीं भाई, अगर ऐसा है तो ये नहीं कि हम ये नहीं बोल रहे हैं कि भाई औरतें भी वहाँ पे चलाओ, क्यों उनको क्यों नहीं हक? क्योंकि क्या लिविंग रूम सिर्फ मर्दों का है? क्या इंटेलेक्चुअल स्पेस, जैसे बहुत बार मैं देखता हूँ कि न्यूज़ व्यूज़ की बातें रहती थी, तो बीवी आगे तो अरे न्यूज़ व्यूज़ तुम्हारे क्या पल्ले पड़ेगा, पॉलिटिक्स तुम्हारे क्या पल्ले पड़ेगा, छोड़ो। सो ये हम लोगों ने ये एक बाइनरीज बना रखी हैं कि अगर खाना बनाना है तो औरतों का काम है, अगर क्रिकेट खेलना है तो बच्चा जाएगा, बारबी डॉल देनी है तो लड़की को जाना है। सो ऑल दीज चीज़ सारे हमने बना रखे हैं और इनको हम रीइंफोर्स किए जा रहे हैं, तो हमको इन दायरों को निकालना है। उसी की बात हो रही है इस फिल्म में।
आई थिंक इस शॉर्ट फिल्म को कंटिन्यू भी किया जा सकता है, और आगे अगर पार्ट 2 अगर आप बनाए या आगे ऐसा कुछ हम देखेंगे हम ऐसा?
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा नहीं है, पुरुष प्रधानता या जैसी भी कोई है जो जेंडर को लेके हैं, उस चीज़ को मैं काफ़ी उस बारे में बहुत सोचता हूँ, और मैं हर फिल्म में शायद ये एक थीम कॉमन रखूँगा, तो जाहिर है कि हर फिल्म में रहेगा ऐसा कुछ।
Choose, rather they quarrel maybe in the night after the party is over. Is it not the reality? This is my first question. And second, sorry to this divert, rather this is the main question. What you all three feel, what Anupam Kher or all those who are attending IT at Panaji should do about Padmavati being targeted by violent ruling people?
So the first question, it could be, it could not be. I'm saying, and it is everywhere. I mean, you cannot deny it. For all you know, Manju's husband must be actually fighting with her. But there is a sense of shame in him. When she looks at him, he looks down. There is a sense of shame. He understands what she's trying to say. And these men are not the typical, the patriarchal people. They are normal people who have this ingrained thing. Because they've been used to their mothers treating them that way, they're used to their families treating that way. So they think हम लोग यहाँ बैठ के बातें कर सकते हैं, बेवकूफ़ वाली बातें कर सकते हैं कि पेजेस के बारे में, इसके बारे में. So but they don't care about the fan that's not working there. So it is pretty possible कि ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं कि, and also in the film also we not try to do something like she's not waiting up and slapping everybody for making her work. That doesn't happen in real life. Real life, I think she has at least found this power or this gumption to just go sit there and claim her place in this male entitled area that, okay, I can also break this barrier and sit here. I have the equal right to sit here, have juice. So ये था. दूसरा सवाल सर, to each his own I would say, and हम सबको, as fraternity, I think we all should come together and talk about somebody threatening her, as threatening to kill our own female stars and directors and actors. That is something that we all should unitedly stand.
Can you take the name of Mr. Anupam Kher?
Why would you want me to take the name of someone? No sir, I would speak for myself. I would, to each his own, like I said.
Being FTII chief, is it not his duty also to say something protecting the film fraternity? This is
It is for him to answer. I genuinely think that it is for him to answer. For me, what I feel, I will say, and I will feel very happy if the whole industry comes forward and talks about, the atrocities that are happening. But I cannot expect somebody pinpoint and say. There are many people, I would say. There are many people in the industry I should point out and say no. But I think that is the point, that it is not should be singular. It should be a united front between all the fraternity members and saying it out loud.
Yeah, so beautiful 14 minutes of gripping moments. It's only in the 7th or the 8th minute we get to know what the whole story is going to go ahead with. The moment she tries to pick up that old fan from the top, and it just doesn't work at a time when it is required. Now the issue here is, on all occasion we have been talking about these generations continuing with the way the mother, the daughter, the Barbie and all those things. In the last 10 years, a lot of things have changed. If you look at the WhatsApp messages you get from these girls or women or ladies, people are aware of it. People are talking about 1,10,000 ka bullet train. People are talking about Modi. People are talking against and good and bad about it. My only there are two issues. I would like to know why the word juice as a name, I mean, for this film, and that too, that juice is being shown at the last 40 seconds. That's one. And the other is, I would have loved if Shefali starts conversation talking about the bullet train and all those things along with the husbands and trying to, because like he pointed out, most of the time the women starts fighting when the guests have left. No, I would have loved that she and her husband have they are going to fight or they may not fight. But the issue would have been that she would also I would have been too happy if she would show her intelligence, because it's assumed that throughout the film she is a dumb female, she does not know anything. She was working and she has been, circumstances have forced her to, today the lower middle class is such that, they have the brains, they are working their best, they are working in corporate parks and business centers and all those places. But still, that question still remains, why did Shefali stop at just taking the juice and the film is over? I would have loved that name of that film to be, rather than juice, ladies first.
So, it's a good choice, I would say. I wouldn't deny it. The first question that you asked, I actually have a counter question to all of you. Have you all ever wondered why there aren't any fans in the kitchen? In our Indian kitchen, there are no fans. The classic retort you would give me is that gas band ho jati hai, but you can face the fan looking at the person who's cooking. Do you know why that has not happened? Because women have never mattered. It is a simple fix. You could actually place a kitchen. Abroad they have central air, so they don't need a fan in the kitchen. But in Indian kitchens, एक तो ventilation कम होता है, the room is very cramped. Even in the architecture of it, nobody thinks about these things. क्या उनको गर्मी होगी? उनकी गर्मी से क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? Living room में जो मर्द बैठे हैं उनको गर्मी हो रही है. So then people have never thought of this. So this is the reason why actually it all started, the whole conversation about it. And juice is a metaphor for claiming your rightful place in a male entitled world. Because she thinks that, okay, fine. Maybe I don't drink alcohol, but I can drink juice. It's just her symbol, her metaphor for, I think, here I am claiming my place and enjoying what I want to do. It's only that. And also juice it has a connotation in urban language actually. Juice also means respect and creed in certain things. So that's why I thought juice is a rightful name. And also I didn't want to give away, because see, actually in any of the promotion everywhere, we didn't want to come about and announce that, oh, we are so much about patriarchy or so much about anything, because I want people to have their own interpretation. That's why a very ambiguous name of juice has been chosen. So, you want to talk about
Why shouldn't
why?
I want to say something about the title, but I don't think I should. I haven't gotten your name. Mr. Ravi Nair, with no offense, I'm not going to question why your name is Mr. Ravi Nair. So it's his baby, and he has, it's his, prerogative to name it what it is. As far as the other question, yes, it's an interesting way to look at it, that she could have sat there and had a conversation. But, it's a belief that women who stay at home, believe me, I've been a housewife, a mother, I work, but being a housewife and a mother is the toughest job in the world. Unfortunately, they're not granted that much. You don't assume that they're intelligent people, because somewhere I don't find the need to emphasize my intelligence. When I'm looking after the house, I'm looking after the house. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. But of course, that is because I'm really comfortable in my skin. I have that leeway in my house. When, I think we discussed this at a point of time. Does she say anything? But she doesn't need to say anything. And it's more of, the way, the end, it's more than anger, more than relief, is just disappointment. When you look down on someone and say, seriously? Are you seriously behaving like this? How old are you, guy? It's more of that when she looks at her husband. It's not a fight. It's not a one-upmanship at all. All she's saying is, it's such a small thing. Why does it take for me to do this, for you to register it? It's such a small, basic thing. Sure. then I just failed as an actor. That's all I can say. If my eyes couldn't say it, if my attitude can't say it. Thank you. Thank you. Right. 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 Right.
Actually,
No, so the moment you have a script, I'm the producer. I will back this up too. That's my answer. So